Hi everyone, Eva here. I'm the owner and founder of My Sleeping Baby, and today is Sleep Tip Tuesday. So we've been spending the last few weeks talking about famous sleep regressions, so I figured I'd continue with this theme and talk today about the 18-month regression. This one is not fun. It is a real doozy because we're dealing with toddlers, right? If your toddler experiences this regression, it's typically caused by one of a few different factors. So number one, toddlers around this age range begin to exert power and control over their environment. So for example, they've learned the word no, and they're not afraid to use it repeatedly throughout the day. So if you're suddenly experiencing all sorts of bedtime battles with your toddler, this could be the reason. The other factor to take into account is that many toddlers in this age range begin experiencing some anxiety. You see, in this age range, toddlers are beginning to learn how to regulate their emotions and how to best decipher between situations that warrant being scared versus situations that don't warrant being scared. So if your toddler is suddenly refusing to go to bed, you might want to think if there was something that maybe happened that day that might have scared him. So maybe there was a dog that barked at him, maybe he got stung by a bee, maybe there's a scary thunderstorm happening right now. If there's something that you can pinpoint, feel free to give your toddler a bit of extra comfort and reassurance so that he can go to sleep without being scared. Nonetheless, if your toddler's sleep is now disastrous and you're in the thick of this regression, there is absolutely a solution here. So here are some of my top tips to help navigate this regression and really fix your child's sleep problem. So number one, if you don't have a relaxing bedtime routine, implement one now. You want it to be consistent and fun and predictable so that your toddler knows what's going to happen next so that he's eventually cued that sleep time is coming. Number two, if you haven't already introduced some kind of lovey or comfort item to your toddler, introduce it now. It's a great age to be introducing something because you don't want to be their only source of comfort throughout the night. Otherwise, they're going to be constantly waking you up. You want your toddler to be able to grab his teddy bear or blankie or stuffed something or other and be able to just roll over and go back to sleep. Tip number three, if for whatever reason your toddler has had a no nap day, just screamed through his nap or played through his nap, offer him another nap near the end of the day around 4 or 4:30 in the stroller or in the car or in a carrier, because otherwise I can guarantee you by 5:30, 6 o'clock, she's gonna be a monster if she hasn't napped. At 18 months, they really need their nap. So make sure that she gets in that daytime sleep so that she's not an overtired basket case by bedtime. Tip number four, offer your toddler a big dinner. I'm sure you do this anyways, but just make sure that you're offering your toddler a nice full dinner because there is a growth spurt that happens around this age. Of course, at this age, growth spurts just mean that they need to eat more during the day. They don't need to be suddenly eating more at night, but to make sure that their daytime intake of calories is optimal, make sure they have a nice solid dinner. Tip number five, and this is really, really important, don't revert back to old habits, nor do you want to be introducing new habits that you don't want in the long run. Guys, listen up. New habits can form within a few days. That's all it takes. If your previously sleep-trained toddler is now getting rocked to sleep, that can become your toddler's new reality in a matter of days. So if this isn't something that you want, avoid reverting back to that. It's one thing to offer your toddler some extra comfort, to be going in and checking on him, maybe picking him up, giving him a hug, but you want to make sure that you're always putting him back into the crib so that getting rocked to sleep or getting into your bed or being given a bottle or nursing to fall asleep doesn't become the new norm that you have to undo with further sleep training. And then last but not least, if you haven't sleep trained your toddler until now and you're having tons and tons of bedtime battles and night wakings, there is no better time like the present to tackle this, because There's no doubt in my mind that part of what's going on in terms of this regression has to do with the fact that your toddler never learned how to fall asleep independently to begin with. So if you want this problem gone in the long run, sleep training is your way to go. I would not suggest doing any form of pry it out, just given the child's age and likelihood of the child going through separation anxiety. So you might want to explore a method like the Sleep Lady Shuffle, which allows you to be a comforting presence during the process. So, hope this was helpful, everyone. Have a wonderful day.